Well, hello enemies book lovers, my name is Ash and welcome back to my channel. It is March, about to be March, it is my birthday month, so fingers crossed it is kind to me. I have a really good reading month in March. Honestly, I haven't been having like the best year so far when it comes to reading, so I'm just like hoping March is the month for me. I'm turning 32 years old, I'm a 94 baby, so I'm really hoping that this will be a good month for me and maybe a good birthday. We'll find out, I guess. It's been an okay year so far. I'm just wanting it to get better. Now, a few things I want to talk about before we begin. For one, it is raining outside. It's going to be for the next few days, so the lighting isn't great. Also, you might hear some cars in the background. I'm so sorry. I can't really help that. Although, rain isn't bad because that means there's no more snow. And I've just been enjoying the weather so far. It's been in the positives, in the Celsius. It's been like 3, 4, 8 degrees Celsius lately. So I'm not complaining about the rain. It's just that it's going to be a little bit louder in the background, so I do apologize. I'm also realizing I'm not reading as many books as I thought I did. I used to read like 100 pages a day on average before, like probably about a year or two ago, and then lately it's just not been happening. So I kind of want to find a way to make it a little bit easier for myself. So of course we're going to be doing my TBR game, as we always do. I wanted to do something a little different because I feel like sometimes I get like TBR jar 3 different times, or I get like scratch off TBR jar, those types of things where I can't really choose my books. So I wanted to give myself a little bit of something extra, and that is little prompt cards. So once a month, I'm going to allow myself to draw one of these and kind of disregard one of the things I land on. So if I get TBR jar like twice, I might just get a prompt card instead. So I'm allowed to do this one time every single month instead of taking the prompt I land on, because again, sometimes I just can't do all of them. And I know realistically I can't get to the books. So I'm going to just use these if I have to. I don't have to use them, but if I have to, I will. The only drawback is there are some punishment ones in here. Not many, but it just makes me not want to potentially use them if that does pop up. The worst one in here is to do the spot I landed on and then add an extra roll. So I would just have to do it anyway and then add a roll, which would be horrible. So there are like some drawbacks to using these little tiny prompt cards, but for the most part, they're mostly just like little prompts. So again, once a month, if I have to. I know it's kind of, maybe people don't like this because they like when I land on the prompts, but again, sometimes I can't get to them all and I want to be a little bit easier on myself. So I'm hoping this will help. With that aside, that's all I really have to talk about in regards to changing things up. I will talk about what the books are that I brought over from February. It is still a week left of the month, but I did not get to the books I wanted to get to. There were so many on my February TBR. Way too ambitious, and I'm starting to realize I've just been like that lately. I'm way too ambitious. So for the most part, if I put things on my TBR, I think I read around 60% of them. So I read the majority, but not all of them. So some of the books I'm going to be bringing over from February are going to be Oathbringer. I don't know yet. I might be able to finish it, but I might have a little bit left, maybe like the last 100, 200 pages left in March. This book is honestly, I'll be honest with you, kind of putting me in a slump because I feel like I'm forcing myself to read it. I am liking it. I'm adoring it. But I've been putting it off for months, and I think it's because I'm just not really, I'm in the mood for it, but I'm not really feeling myself wanting to get into it. Like, I dread picking this up. It's just so much for me, and I feel like it's just kind of making me a little slumpy. So I'm trying not to force myself to read it because I think it's kind of affecting my February reading mood. So I'm probably going to be like finishing the very end of this, but I have made progress. I'm not going to continue making progress. It's just that it's taking a little bit of time because, again, it's kind of putting me in a slump. It sucks. I'm going to take a little bit of a break from Stormlight Archive, like the bigger books, and kind of carefully read the last 2. I want to finish the series by the end of the year, but I have a few months to kind of like give myself some space. But I will be finishing this. I know I was supposed to finish it in February. I think I might be able to still, but if not, almost at the very end. So I'm almost there. I almost did it, okay? We're almost there. Another book I want to try to get to potentially is Siege and Storm. If I don't get to this in March, I'm just going to put it back, and like maybe in a future TBR, I'll try picking it again. Again, I don't want to force myself through books if I don't really feel like I can, and there's so many books on my list in February. This is another one I was not able to get to, so we're going to be putting this on my March TBR as well. And then the last one I might be able to get to, potentially, it's like 600 pages, so I don't know, is The War of Two Queens. This is the next book in the From Blood and Ash series. Again, I didn't get to this one either. I've been really struggling in February. It's also like the shortest month, so I don't know. I'm gonna try not to be so ambitious in the future, but it's really hard not to. That being said, if I don't get to this one, I'm just gonna obviously put in a TBR again in the future. I really want to try getting to it though, because I feel like this one will dictate if I want to continue the series or not. So this one is kind of a priority, but at the same time, if I don't read, I'm not gonna beat myself up over it. That's why I don't have any like punishments for my TBR if I don't finish any books, because I don't want to punish myself for reading. If I do, it's a hobby, right? Like, this is all a hobby. My booktube channel, my reading, it's a hobby. It's not a challenge. It's not something I want to punish myself for. So always be easy on yourself. Don't put too much pressure on yourself. This is a hobby. This is for fun. So if you don't get to all your books or whatever, there's time. We have time ahead of us. We could read our books if we can, but don't put too much pressure. There's a lot going on in the world, so just take care of yourself first. So I'm going to try to get to the books. If I don't, future TBRs. So those are books I potentially would like to get to. if I can, but I also have an unwrap or unhaul book on this as well that I don't want to show you. So that's another one I added to this list that is not already part of my TBR game. So again, we're getting a little overambitious again. But again, if I don't read them, I'll just put them on a future TBR and play my game again. There's no pressure. With that long introduction and the first already 3 books technically set for my TBR, we are now going on to my TBR board game. So first we're gonna do the spinner wheel to see what I end up getting. Either I add a roll, have a safe spot, so I only get to do 5 rolls, or I get to redo a roll, which is actually like the best outcome technically. So let me find out which one I get for March, my birthday month. Fingers crossed it goes well. Okay, let me see what my spinner wheel is going to give me. Okay, we are going to be doing a pylon space. I'll explain this later if I land on it. For now, we're gonna see where the pylon goes. So, oh, that's really bad. Okay, we're adding it to the add 1 more roll. So I had to do 6 rolls and have a roadblock. This sounds horrible. Please don't land on that. What is that? Okay, so I didn't get pylon, but as you can see by the little point, I did get add a roll. Okay, why? Why does that happen to me? Okay, of course on my birthday month, I do get 6 rolls instead of 5. So let us go and see what the rolls are for the board. Right. So we got add a roll. This is the 2nd month in a row though where I got my 6th roll. Like, what's up with this? I love doing my board game, so I can't complain. But I just complained about I don't have enough space and I haven't been reading enough. And then I get another roll. It's fine. We're gonna go into it. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do 6 rolls for this video. Again, I'm gonna get to my TBR as best I can. If I don't, there's no hard feelings. I will get to at least half of the books on this TBR though, but oh my gosh, it's a little overwhelming. That being said, we have 6 books now, or 6 rolls to make, and I am keeping my fingers crossed. It is nice to me. So let me go and start my board game and see what the first one is going to be for March. Welcome to my TBR board game and for our TBR for March. So let's just start with our first one because we have a long way to go. So first prompt for the month. The one mood read. Okay. You know what? I'm not mad about it because obviously I had an add a roll. So you know what? This is kind of a free one. You know what? I'm not mad about it. Okay. Mood read, our first prompt. All right. You know what? Mood read. You know what? That was not too bad. I got another mood read. I've been landing on these like crazy lately, which is perfect because I actually had a book that I added to my February TBR on top of my already existing TBR. And I'm hoping to finish it by the end of the month because I want to finish it for a certain reason. So the first book I'm going to try to get to for my mood read is Unloved by Peyton Corinne. I think that's how you say your last name. This is one I didn't expect to have at all. I'll let you know later on in this TBR game as to why I'm adding this to the list, but we have this book here. This is a 2nd book in a trilogy for a contemporary romance, as you can see, and this is a sports romance. Freddie is a left-winger on the ice, and he is very popular with the ladies, although he's not doing really good in his biology class. He has dyslexia, ADHD, and dyscalculia. So in order to help with his biology class, he talks to Ro. Ro is going to be his tutor and she's going to help him with his work. And in doing so, obviously there's going to be a little bit of a romance. Ro is in a relationship though. She has a boyfriend. They're on and off again and it's not really giving her much happiness. And I don't know if there's cheating in this. I'm going to assume there's no cheating. I'm going to assume that the boyfriend's going to kind of like, they're on and off, so they're probably going to be off in certain situations. This does give me the vibes of another book I read. I think it was A Deal by Elle Kennedy. I think it was the first book in that series. I've only read like the first 2. That one had the similar vibe of like the tutor and the hockey player, and I liked that book, so maybe I'll like this one too. I believe this is like interconnected series. I think. I don't even know if they're actually like they know each other or not. I guess I'll find out when I read this book. But yeah, this was like one I didn't really expect to get into anytime soon. But we're gonna give it a try. We're gonna try it out and see if I like this one. Unloved is going to be my first book. Well, technically not my first book because my other ones. Okay, like my 3rd to 4th book for the month, but my first one for my TBR game. Okay, moving on now to my 2nd roll. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Are you kidding me? Series title. Okay, this is going really well and I'm kind of scared, but we got one which is mostly continuing a series. I could start a series, but this is for the most part continuing or finishing series. This is like one of my favorite parts on the board. That's why I have 4. I'm very happy with this. Okay. Let's see what I read for my series. We got series. I usually do my series jar, like my 10 series jar, but I actually wanted to really get to a book this month. So I do apologize I didn't get to use my series jar. I love using it, but I really wanted to get to a specific book this month. And this is so perfect following the first book. So I had Unloved as my first book, technically for the month, at least for my TBR game. And for this one for series, I'm going to continue that series. surprisingly enough, and read Unbound by Peyton Corinne. Again, I never, ever read my series back to back. I'm gonna try that for the month of March. I really want to do like a reading vlog where I read the 3 of these books together, because I'm going to be reading hopefully the first one in February, at the very end of February. So keeping my fingers crossed that I can actually read all 3 of these books in 1 month. Let me tell you how big of a deal that is. I take years between my books, like 4 years plus sometimes. I've been reading some series since like 2019, 2020. So the fact that I'm potentially reading all this in 1 month is crazy. If I get a little bit slumpy, I won't. But the reason why I'm reading Unbound is because this actually doesn't release until April. I think specifically April 7th. So this is actually a NetGalley arc, and I requested it. I don't know what I was thinking. The cover didn't look like a part of a series, and I don't know what I was thinking. I requested it, and I was so happy to get it. And then I realized it was a part of a trilogy. This is the 3rd book in a trilogy, and I was like, oh, I didn't read the first 2. I don't really need to read the first 2. If I don't enjoy them, I might DNF them if I have to, but I want to try Unbound. It looks so pretty. I needed to get to it, and so I guess I'm going to be reading all 3 books pretty much within a month of each other, which is crazy for me, but I'm willing to give it a try. This is following Paloma. Paloma, is that her name? Paloma. I'm just gonna say Paloma. Paloma seems or comes off across a little bit antagonistic and a little bit promiscuous, but that's because of what she dealt with when she was younger. She's been through a lot, and so she kind of uses that as an exterior or facade to kind of put a mask over her true feelings and emotions. The cover doesn't make it very obvious, but this is also a hockey romance. We're following our male protagonist. His name is Bennett, and he is a goalie for the hockey team, of course. He is a neurodivergent goalie. He has OCD. He has routines, he sticks with them, and it helps him hold on to his OCD compulsions and his crippling anxiety that comes with them. So we have a male character who has OCD and really bad anxiety, which I have anxiety, so I'm actually very genuinely curious how it will be represented in this book. I don't really read a lot of books with anxiety in it. I don't know if that's like intentional or not. I don't think it is, but I wonder if it's similar to mine at all, or if I understand it, or even if I kind of relate to it. Ben is really perceptive, and so he notices the kind of like that little mask that she puts on, and so obviously there's going to be a relationship between the 2 of them. This is a contemporary romance again. It also kind of goes back and forth from past and present timeline, I believe. We're going to the past with our characters starting off with love, young love, and it getting ripped away from them and starting in like more present tense. So there's going to be a past and present timeline. If you don't like that, just keep that in mind. And we're going to kind of see the flip between what they were and what they are now. I'm going to assume they had love for each other and something happened to her, and that kind of broke them apart, and now we're in the present, and he's going to hopefully help her, and she's going to be there for him. And so I am hoping this will be good. I'm really looking forward to it. Again, the cover is beautiful, and I'm just really hoping I will like this one. I've never read from this author before, so reading 3 books in like a 1 month period, hopefully I like them. Again, this was the only one I really want to get to for sure, because this is the arc and I want to make sure I review it, but I do want to try to get to the first 2 books before I get to this one. Again, it's interconnected, so probably you'll see the other characters vaguely, so it's not mandatory to read the first 2, but I kind of want to see at least try, give it a shot. Let's move on now to our 3rd prompt. Big numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 or 8. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. I really wanted a sci-fi because I was planning on doing something. This is weird. Okay, we're going with sci-fi. Let me just make sure that's right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep. Okay. Sci-fi. Wow, this is going really well. I'm scared. Either this is being nice to me or it's getting ready for something bigger. So, okay. Sci-fi it is. I've been trying to film this part. This is my 3rd time filming this part of the video because I messed up the first time and the second time, and now there's people honking their horns and the dog's barking upstairs. Help me. We're gonna get into this really fast. The next prompt was to read a sci-fi book, and I've been wanting to read this series because I want to continue it. I think I started around 3 years ago, so it's about time I continue it, and that is going to be the Expanse series. I am on book 6, which is Babylon's Ashes by, of course, James S.A. Corey. I've been, again, like I mentioned, wanting to get to the series for so long now, and I've been putting it off, and I think it's just about time I get to it. I'm on the later half of the series. There are, I think, 9 books total with novellas in between, and I've just been scared to continue it because of the fact that, as you know, later half of a series like this, people might not survive it, and I'm a little bit scared. We're following the Rocinante, which is a crew that's on a spaceship, and they kind of get pushed together. It's like a little found family kind of setting. There's a little bit of romance. This romance in the series is not a huge asset. It's not a very big thing in your face, but it's very realistic to real life. I mean, you're just kind of living your life. There are relationships that get formed. I personally really love it myself. But anyway, we're following the crew, and James Holden is kind of like our main character, the one that kind of sets off the events that happen, and he kind of is the reason why everything kind of explodes outward and things happen in this world and planets outside of the system. So it's a pretty big deal at the beginning. James Holden is the one that kind of begins this, and honestly, he develops really well, I think, in the series. He's a very chivalrous character to a fault. He's trying his best to do everything, but he's a little bit he's very impulsive. And so it's really interesting seeing James Holden, who is, again, our protagonist in the series, but there are a ton of protagonists. We follow every single person in the crew of the Rocinante. We follow side characters, and I think some of the side characters are some of my favorite characters. There's one character I love. I can't wait to see more of her. She might be in this book, I think. She's been kind of hinted. I'm not gonna say who it is because I don't want to spoil in case, you know, but book 6, I feel like saying people's names is almost a spoiler. So I'm gonna kind of just refrain from saying anything, but I really like seeing her. I'm excited to see more of her, but I am nervous because I definitely think characters are gonna start to, you know, not survive. This book is written by 2 different people that just have one name, but these 2 authors, I am afraid what they're going to do to us because, again, I'm sure it's not going to go perfectly well and everyone's going to survive. They are not afraid to have characters not survive situations. So I'm a little bit weary, but I'm also looking forward to it. I'm a bit afraid to say this because I feel like I'm manifesting and jinxing it, but my favorite character is Amos. He is my favorite. Amos, whatever. I really like him a lot. I didn't like him in the beginning, but ever since I read like the books and the novellas and I learned more about him, he's really, really grown on me. So I really like him a lot. He's my favorite. But now I feel like now I said that, something's gonna happen. So oopsies. But anyway, I'm looking forward to reading more, seeing what happens, and I'm terrified for the crew, but I'm gonna just enjoy the moment, read more of this. This is an amazing sci-fi series. I am not really good at this kind of stuff, and I can retain most information and remember a lot of these characters. So if you have a hard time, you might be able to get into this, because if I can get into it, I trust that you can as well. But it's a very good sci-fi series to get into if you're interested in the genre. It's amazing, and there's a lot of like diversity within this cast, and it's just so good, and I love it so much. So definitely recommend it if you want to give it a try. I'm nervous. We have 4 books total. This is the next one, so I'm going to give it a try and see if it's good and if I like it and if I'm not going to be traumatized by it. We'll find out, I guess, soon. Okay, now let's move on to our next roll for the video and see what my prompt is going to be. 2. Fantasy. Okay, this is pretty simple and easy because obviously I like fantasy. I had to read more of it, but all right, fantasy. We got a fantasy. Simple and easy. I'm gonna try not to do like fantasy romance when I land on fantasy. I'm gonna try to actually focus on fantasy books, and with this one, I am hopeful and optimistic I'm going to be finished Oathbringer. So with that in mind, I'm going to be reading, hopefully, Dawn Shard by Brandon Sanderson, which is the 2nd novella and only other novella in the rest of the Stormlight Archive series. I don't really want to read too much Stormlight Archive, I did mention that, but this is a little bit of an exception because it's so small and so short. I want to look up how many pages there are, but I also don't want to see names. If I see a name, I'm going to be very upset. I also have my glasses on, so it's actually kind of easy to just pretend I don't see anything. There are a little under 300 pages of this book, so very, very simple and easy to get through. I'll probably be reading this near the end of March, so that I can kind of give myself a little bit of time between Oathbringer and this. But of course, I'll be doing a reading vlog on this. I might not be reading the rest of the series for another like 2 or so months. I do want to give myself a genuine kind of break from the Stormlight Archive, but I do want to read Dawn Shard. I do think I know someone that's in this book. So one of my friends kind of spoiled to me who the character was. I'm not going to say anything about it though. I don't want to spoil anyone else. I don't know much other than that. So like, hopefully that's not enough information to give me too much, because I genuinely don't really know what this is about, which is great because it's after Oathbringer. So I should know what it's about anyway. With 2 books left, let's move on to our 5th roll. Honestly, I'm just waiting for the chaos. I think this might be the one. I have feelings. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, scratch off. This one I could kind of not want and choose a prompt card instead, but I think I'm going to go with scratch card because I have been having such good luck. I think I'm going to go with it. So let's just go with scratch card. I'll come back in a second. I'll show you the scratch cards and then we'll come back. So let's go with scratch cards and see what I end up scratching off. I actually organized them. Someone said that I should randomly decide what genre I get. So I think we're going to do that. So we're going to just place them all down like this, and we're going to roll a d4 to determine what kind of pile we pick up on. So the genres are fantasy for blue, pink is romance, green and yellow are other, so anything that's not fantasy or romance, and then we have purple, which are usually like booktubers' least favorite books of the year, or like books they didn't like. I like to have one where it's like maybe I'll like them or maybe I don't like them. I kind of like to see if I agree with them or not. So we're going to roll a d4 to determine which pile we're going to be doing. Obviously 1, 2, 3, and 4. So let's roll this. As you see, we got a 3, which is the other pile. I'm a little bit scared. Usually my genres don't read as often, but some really good books on this list. So we're going to just randomly, actually, maybe I should just do the top. Like maybe I should go for the top one. I don't know. Like, should I shuffle it? I don't know. How about we shuffle it? I'll do 3. 1, 2, 3. We'll do this one. We'll just do this pile right here. So this yellow one. Let's move everything to the side and see what this is. Our scratch off card this time is going to be... Oh my god, is this a thriller? Oh my god. Let me talk about what this book is about and who kind of recommended it to me, and let's talk about it. I'm actually kind of excited to read a thriller. I've wanted to read more this year, so I guess this is a start. So let's go and talk about what this book is, and I'll come back to you soon. For my fifth roll, we got Scratch Off, and I'm kind of excited about this one. I've been wanting to read more thriller. I talked about it, and I've said it, and I haven't had any thrillers on my lists so far this year, or at least hardly any, if not any. I don't think I have any, actually. But we got one for my Scratch Off, and I'm very excited about this. This is actually a recommendation from Erin Megan, who is another booktuber who does like horror and thriller recommendations, or just like videos in general. So if you want to check her out, definitely recommend it if you like horror and thriller, or you're more interested in finding more about that. And the recommendation I got for this one is Darcy Coates' Dead of Winter. This is my second Darcy Coates book. I read Gallows Hill, adored it. I really, really liked it. I read it at the end of last year. And so we're going to go on to our next one of her, which is Dead of Winter. The snow is melting, but it is still a little cold and there is a little bit of snow outside. So you know what? If I was going to read this now, it's better to do it now than in like the summertime. So I'll let it slide for this one. This one I'm not going to say too much about because I don't want to like give it too much away. I kind of read a little bit of the synopsis and decided to stop because I don't want to spoil myself. I mean, I know it's a thriller and I don't really like to know much about thrillers. So I'm just going to like vaguely talk about what it's about, generally speaking, without any details. Essentially what happens is that they are in a tour group, there's a snowstorm, and they are forced to go into this old hunting cabin, and they have to kind of stay in there together and get snowed in. This is a group of 8 strangers, and one of them ends up being a killer. And that's all I know, and that's all I want to know. So obviously things are going to happen from there. It's probably going to be somewhat of a mystery as to who's doing it and what's going on, and I'm kind of loving the idea of it. So I'm excited to give it a try. Again, this is my second Darcy Coates, and I'm kind of excited. I really want to get more into thriller, so I really want to see if I like this genre. I haven't really read that many books in this genre. I've read a few, I'll be honest. It was Dark Matter by Blake Crouch. I thought I remembered it. How did I forget? This is like one of my favorite books, so I don't know how I forgot it, but this is a thriller. I adore it. It's one of my favorite books ever, and so I'm going to hopefully like this thriller as well, Dead of Winter. Hopefully I will be reading this one early in March so I can kind of feel a little bit more of that winter vibe before spring begins. Let's move on to our 6th and final roll for this video, finally. So let's see which one it's going to be. Oh, another 8. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Readathon prompt or 5, 6, 7, 8 series. Oh, wait a minute. I actually do need to do the Adventures in Alia, which is G from Book Roast's channel. Every single year she does this thing where you can like do a prompt every single month, and I really want to do that prompt. So surprisingly, I actually think I'm gonna go with readathon prompt, which is really weird for me, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with readathon prompt so I can do Adventures in Eldia. Our final book is a readathon prompt, and for this prompt I have to read a book with a drink on the cover. This was so hard for me to find. I don't know why. I went through all of my free ebooks that I got like over the past few years. I found a singular book with drinks on the cover. And it's actually in the title too. So I'm definitely going to count this for that. And that is Sips About to Go Down by Audrey Vaughn. This looks kind of cute and I'm hoping for the best. But as you can see, there's like drinks on the cover. It's like a little bar and there's things around it, glasses and such. So this definitely does count for that. I don't know what the female character's first name is because the synopsis is in first person. So I'm just going to say that this is about 2 rivals and they have to force to live together. So they become roommates. And I mean, there's a little bit of like an estranged dynamic between the 2 of them. But obviously, as you know, they're going to butt heads, but also they're gonna want to probably make out too. That's how these work, okay? And I'm sure it's gonna be a fun, easy time. Listen, I'm not gonna get to all of these books. I'm going to be optimistic and say I'll probably get to around 5 to 6 of these. So I'll try my best to get to as many as I can. If I don't get to them, they will be on future TBRs. But I think there's definitely a few that I definitely want to prioritize more than the rest of them. I'll show you all of them right here. I will for sure go into Unbound. I want to get to that because it's a NetGalley arc, so it's really important for me to read that. I want to try, of course, Babylon's Ashes because I want to continue the series. Dawn Shard because I want to make a reading vlog and also continue this series. And Dead of Winter because, again, I like having my physical books and reading them, so I do want to try to get to this one as well. I would like to get to as many as possible, obviously, but those are the ones I kind of want to prioritize the most. And I'm really hoping I find a favorite. I've been kind of just like not reading that many good books. I mean, I've been reading books and they've been like 3.5 stars. There hasn't been like a 4+ star book, and I'm just kind of getting tired of it. I don't really give 5-star ratings very often, but I just need something like 4, 4.5, 5. That's all I want. So I just want to manifest March to be a good month, and I read a book that I enjoy and maybe get some 4+ star books because I really need to do that. It's probably one of the reasons why I'm feeling a little bit slumpy. So fingers crossed, we all find books we love in March and we actually get to books we want to get to, okay? We're gonna do great in March. It's gonna be a great month. If you would like to leave an emoji down below just showing your support, put anything to do with winter, just to commemorate the ending of our winter at least. You can put any type of winter emoji. It could be like a snowman, snowflake, whatever you want that you like, and put that down below if you want to just show your support. Let me know that you're here, or if you don't have anything to say. With that being said though, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you so much. Have a great day. Have an amazing reading month in March. Hopefully it is a great month for us all. We find some new favorites, and I hope to see you all soon. Goodbye everyone.